Time for another edition of the Red, Gold, and Bold podcast with you as always, Jeff Chadiha, Sam McDowell, Soren Petro, as we're going to buy or sell here on a Friday. Remember, if you're catching us via the podcast, you can be a part of the conversation. We go 9:30 on Tuesday nights, that's Central Time, and 10 a on Fridays. We'll talk about some declarative statements, some predictions. I don't know how you want to put it. We will either buy or sell on it. I will tell you that Jeff won this last year. 7-5-4, I think was how it went. Actually, I have the scorecard right here. Jeff won, 7, Sam 5, me 4. I was shockingly worst. Captain Optimism, Captain Fanboy came in last place with the bad year. It's funny how it works. Making the playoffs, we'll talk about that. Patrick Mahomes, comeback player of the year. Mansoor, Delane, all rookie. Same thing with Peter Woods, Xavier Worthy, Josh Simmons, Felix Anudike-Uzomah. We've got some statements about all of them. We're buying or selling. We're doing it right now on the Red, Gold, and Bold.
You are listening to the Red, Gold, and Bold podcast, the most in-depth analysis of the Kansas City Chiefs on planet Earth, breaking down the Chiefs like no one else can. Red, Gold, and Bold is hosted by Jeff Chadiha, Sam McDowell, and Soren Petro. Jeff Chadiha is a senior columnist and on-air personality for the NFL Network and NFL.com. Sam McDowell is a columnist for the Kansas City Star. Soren Petro is the afternoon drive host of the program on Sports Radio 810 WHB in Kansas City. The Red, Gold, and Bold podcast is proudly brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete, Kansas City's nationally recognized full-service paving and pavement maintenance contractor, making parking lot problems disappear in Kansas City since 1994. Free consultations, no commissions, in-house crews, and every project comes with a written warranty. Find them online at GannAsphalt.com or call 816-484-3338. Gann Asphalt and Concrete, one contractor, all things parking lot. Now, here are the hosts of the Best Chiefs podcast, Jeff Chadiha, Sam McDowell, and Soren Petro.
Thank you very much, Curtis. We do appreciate it. Buying and selling, gentlemen. That's what we're doing here. Let's just start with the most obvious one, if you don't mind. Let's go with the Chiefs making the playoffs in 2026. To the Chiefs will make the playoffs in 2026. Jeff, buying or selling on this one?
Oh man, coming to the clubhouse leader last year to start it off.
That's right.
I gotta come in hot. I'm selling this one.
Wow.
I'm not believing the hype. I know there's a lot of people who believe they're going to turn the corner. I think it's going to take a 2-year process to get them back into the postseason. Too many good teams in the AFC. Too many good teams in their own division. Broncos and Chargers I like better, and I think that the Bills are legit. I think the Ravens and the Bengals will be back in the mix. Jaguars. So I think at the end of the day, this is going to be a team that probably wins maybe 10 games if everything goes right. But if things go wrong, they'll probably end up being around 9 or 8 wins. So I don't see it happening.
For the record, I thought, since I was last in this exercise last year and Jeff was first, I'd come right out of the gates and get the chat room angry at Jeff. Let's just no more. We celebrated your success from last year for like 5 seconds and that's it. Let's just piss everybody off right now and have you sell on the playoffs. Was it a hard decision to make there, Jeff?
No, it wasn't hard. It was hard. It was hard. It was, I think that as we saw with the Chiefs, what happened with them last year, other teams could face those same kind of problems and have issues with injuries and, underperforming. And so that's always the tough thing with the NFL. You don't know which teams are going to live up to the hype, which teams are going to deliver more than you thought they would. So, but I think right now, given all the questions around the supporting cast, I just think I'm not going to bet on all these guys who are thinking are going to have good years as young players doing that.
Okay. Sam, buy or sell? The Chiefs are going to the playoffs in 26.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I mean, you look at what the Chiefs have done over the past decade. Last year's the outlier, and by a long shot too. And you also look at the other greats. I mean, the guy that I think all of us ranked Patrick Mahomes second to Tom Brady. He only missed the playoffs once in like the last 19 years, and it was when he was out for the year. Like, he didn't really miss it. It's hard to imagine them missing back-to-back. Now, it was hard to predict them to go 6-11 last year, so it's not out of the question that they missed the playoffs. They just did it a year ago. But I also look at the rest of the AFC picture, and while I think the division's really tough, I don't know that I look at the rest of the AFC playoff picture and say, wow, that's gotten a lot more difficult, that the path is going to be much harder for them to make it, other than I think the Bengals have gotten better. And I think the Bengals are going to be in the mix if Joe Burrow's healthy, which has, of course, been a major question already. But I don't know that I look at the rest of the AFC and say, wow, there's a really hard route there. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers made the playoffs last year.
That's a fair point. I'm buying that they will make the playoffs because it's me. That's what I do. There's an expectation there, and I plan on living up to it. No, listen, I am buying. I think Sam made a really good case. I don't mind Jeff's case. Jeff's points, I think they're valid, and I think saying that they won't go, this is not the hardy. Our questions last year were like, will they have to play a road game?
Yeah.
It was the
playoffs. Who's right on that?
Well, last year, so what do we have? So it was.
Well, I mean, which answer is even right on asking if they'll have to play a road game?
For last year or this year?
Which answer last year do you consider correct if you ask, do they have to play a road game? Is the no answer the correct answer?
I didn't give anybody credit because everybody bought that they would have to win a road playoff game.
I mean, that's kind of a yes. Like we're saying they won't have home field advantage.
But we all were on the same side of it, so it didn't really matter. So I just left it off because they didn't make the playoffs. But I think there was last year, the Chiefs will win the AFC West for a 10th straight time. All three of us bought it. All three of us were wrong. So, I mean, that shows you the difference. This time I just made it on the playoffs, and so it is just kind of the different tone and tenor. Jeff, do you have them not making the playoffs at like 9-8, 8-9, 7-10?
9-8. I don't have them like bottoming out. They're going to be better than they were last year record-wise, but they're not going. I don't see them winning 13, 12 games either.
Because Sam, do you have them 10-7, 11-6, 12-5? What kind of record do you have them getting into the playoffs with?
Yeah, I don't know. The
feel. You don't have to pick one. Just give me kind of a range.
Yeah, 10-7, 11-6, that range.
Yeah. So I don't think we're that far apart, right? We just have that the cutting line is going to be somewhere in that range, and we've got them a little above, and Jeff's got them a little below. So I don't think we're really that far apart in the way we're all viewing it here. It's just Jeff's got him right below the line. We've got him a little bit above the line. All right, Patrick Mahomes will win comeback player of the year. Jeff, buy or sell?
I'm selling that one too.
Wow.
Yeah. I know that's a big name, but Joe Burrow is in this conversation too, right? And so is Jaden Daniels. And I wouldn't go as far as Kyler Murray, but I think there's a lot of good players who were banged up. I don't trust his supporting cast right now. I think if you're going to give him comeback player of the year based off the numbers he's put up the last few years, he's going to have to do better than that. Because if it's Joe Burrow he's going against with what he has and his, with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, man, Joe Burrow's going to run away with this award. If you saw Joe Burrow 2 years ago and what he did when he played a full season healthy, and he was an MVP candidate. And I think he's probably going to have to keep putting up those kind of numbers until that defense really stabilizes and gets settled in. And so, I mean, I think Mahomes will be in the picture, no question, top three, but I don't know if he's going to put up the kind of numbers that a Joe Burrow or even a Jaden Daniels could put up.
Let me just say this for the record. 2 years ago, what Jeff's talking about, 4,900, 43-9. Yeah. He completed 71% of his passes. He did play 8 games last year, right? Almost half the season. You can't play half anymore. Yeah. But he completed 67% of his passes for just 1,800 yards, 17-5. So he's looking in the 35-10, 36-10 with 3,600 yards. The numbers weren't as big last year as they were 2 years ago when he did play. Just for the record. Sorry, Sam. Go ahead. I apologize.
Well, I don't think this isn't an MVP race. This isn't about who puts up the best numbers. This vote overwhelmingly goes to what voters deem the best story. And Joe Burrow finished the year, even though he played fewer games than Patrick Mahomes, him finishing the year, and then Patrick Mahomes is back for the onset of training camp, day one of training camp, 7 months removed from an ACL. I think voters are going to be more moved by that story. I don't think he's going to have to pass Joe Burrow in terms of numbers, because I agree with Jeff. First of all, the Bengals also, I still think, even though they had Dexter Lawrence, I still think they'll have a worse defense than the Chiefs, and there'll be more drives in that game. I think the Burrow will put up better numbers if they're both healthy. The other thing I would point out is Joe Burrow's already won the award twice.
That's a great point.
Are voters going to want to vote Joe Burrow a third. There's never been a third three-time. There's only been two-time winners. I think it's Burrow and Chad Pennington have won. I mean, look at who's won this award in the past. Joe Flacco, and he didn't even come back from anything other than aging. Geno Smith, Alex Smith, like those guys didn't have great seasons. The voters just thought those were good stories, and I think people will think that Mahomes bouncing back and putting up just even the year he had 2 years ago, I think they're going to think that's enough.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good point. I will say, in Jeff's case, this is one player against the field. And when you do that can be, that's a dangerous.
And the field gets wide open, like Sam just said. It's not just guys getting injured; it's just guys who weren't playing or guys who didn't play well and guys who got cut. Like it's just like the weirdest comeback. The comeback award is the weirdest award they give in the NFL right now.
He's the overwhelming favorite for this award, but he still does not surpass the entire field. You'd still be better off betting the field.
Yeah, at plus 185, like plus 100 would mean he's even money with the field. So plus 185, he is a slight dog to the field. But next is Jaden Daniels at plus 550, Kyler Murray at plus 600, Aaron Donald at plus 900, Daniel Jones,
Micah Parsons
1,200.
got to be in there, right? Micah Parsons got to be in there.
But he's still not back yet, though, right?
He is. I'll keep going. Malik Neighbors plus 1,900, Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa plus 2,000, Micah Parsons plus 2,500. I don't think they feel like he's going to play enough games to outclass everybody else, because I think some people in Green Bay are talking about him being out 6 weeks. So
Neighbors is an interesting name. I'm surprised he's so low on that list. There's two Chiefs that have won this award. Give our commenters a chance to guess them. I think one of them is kind of obvious.
Hang on, I'm trying to think.
Chiefs will be a Chiefs Hall of Famer.
Will be a Chiefs Hall of Famer.
Recent Alex Smith era.
Was Jamal?
Travis Kelce coming off the knee injury?
Eric Berry coming back from cancer in 2015. And then before the leagues merged, Abner Hayes won in 1964.
Okay. So, so then you are, I'm guessing, Sam, you and I are both buying on this.
I'm buying, yeah.
Yeah, I already had you down for buying. I think he's just the overwhelming favorite, and I think someone's going to have to take it from him. I like what Sam's saying. The one thing I would add to Sam's point, I think right now, because you're looking at it, he's back, he's already playing, that everyone's into it. But this award will be handed out at the end of the year. And do they, if he has an up and down season, do they forget about what a miraculous comeback it was? Because now they've watched him play 17 games. Do they kind of forget about it? Because like his comeback is kind of now, and it's amazing now.
I think Tom Brady won that award after he got his knee injury. Did he? I'm pretty sure he never won that award.
I've got the list. He injured that in what?
The 2008 season.
Yeah, he won in 2009.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Good, Jeff. Go ahead and try to repeat. There you go.
Tell me someone else who didn't win, Jeff.
It's a big deal. I just remember. Usually we all remember the award. Now it's like a big deal. It used to not be that big a deal.
It's a bigger deal here because we think one of the Kansas City guys is going to win it. That's for sure. All right, Mansoor Delane will be first team all rookie. Jeff, buy or sell?
He hasn't started that strong in training camp from what I'm hearing. So. But usually this is an award. I'll buy this one because this is an award. This is more of a name award, and generally people don't follow rookies that closely, especially if they're playing on defense and playing positions like this where you don't get to see them all the time. And so I think having filled these kind of bouts out before, generally you go back and look at the first round picks. If they just weren't awful, they get to make this team. So I'll buy this one. I think he's going to be a rookie first team.
Okay. Buying on Mansoor Delane. He was the sixth pick. I mean, we know Chiefs fans are going, well, he damn well better.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think that would be the reaction from Chiefs fans is he damn well better do it. Sam, where are you?
Yeah, that was my answer too. Is like he better be first team because there's 7 cornerbacks taken in the top 52 picks. There's a path for him not to make it, but I mean, he lapsed the field in how early he was taken. So, because most of those guys are taken in that 25 to 52.
Yeah,
right?
the second one, to your point, was taken at 27. Next one was taken, and that was Chris Johnson to the Dolphins. Colton Hood to the Giants at 37. 38 was Traden Stukes. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm buying on this one as well with an absolute. I mean, he was hands down the top guy. he has to be first team. All he has to do is be second best, and he makes first team all rookie. They might even put 3 on there for all I know. It is an absolute disaster if he is not first team all rookie. It's not disappointing. It's not frustrating. It is a freaking disaster if he is not first team all rookie.
Well, if he's not, I guess the caveat to it is the other 2 guys better play their ass off.
That's what I'm saying. Usually it's the guys have to outplay him. He's already penciled in there. I guarantee you on most ballots, if they filled him out right now, he'd be the high choice.
Disaster.
Did Stingley win? Did Stingley make it? Because Stingley did not have a good rookie year.
I don't think he did. And
it'd be interesting to know if
it was Sauce Gardner and
JC.
If he made the all rookie team that year or not. It's a PFWA thing, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So
Trent McDuffie was the 3rd corner taken in that draft.
So what year was Stingley? Was that 22?
Wasn't he in the Trent McDuffie?
Yeah, I think so.
He went he went 3 and Sauce Gardner went 4, I believe.
So Horn's a year older. JC
the cornerbacks that year were Sauce Gardner and Woolen for Rick Woolen for
Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah, who was like a 4th or 5th round pick. Yeah,
I remember that.
Who's now with Philly. So he did not make it.
I think Rick Woolen had a lot of interceptions as a rookie, if I remember right. He had like maybe 3 or 4 at least.
Yeah.
He had 3 fumble recoveries and 6. He led the NFL in interceptions. Actually,
okay,
yeah. But can we agree that year? I mean, Woolen came from nowhere to win it for sure. Not from nowhere. I mean, he was a known commodity. He's like 6'3", 6'4". Everyone was talking about him.
The 5th round
at the draft. But in this one, Stingley was the 3rd pick. Sauce Gardner was the 4th. It should have been those 2 easy. So the fact that anybody took Stingley out was a bit of a surprise.
But it did require. That's what I'm saying. Like for Mansoor not to get it, it better be because a rookie leads the NFL in interceptions.
Yes,
and
that's a great point.
People love just to look at interceptions and say, okay, it's this guy.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. All right, we got a lot more to get to, dealing with Xavier Worthy, Peter Woods, Josh Simmons, FAU, Chris Jones, Travis Kelce, Harrison Butker, many, many more that we will buy or sell on. We'll do it after you hear from our friends at Gann Asphalt and Concrete. Your parking lot says a lot about your business. Cracks, potholes, faded striping, and damaged concrete can create safety concerns and leave the wrong impression with customers. Gann Asphalt and Concrete helps Kansas City businesses protect their properties with asphalt paving, seal coating, crack filling, parking lot striping, concrete work, and repairs. Their experienced crews deliver quality workmanship and dependable service on every project. Whether you need routine maintenance or a complete parking lot overhaul, Gann is ready to help you. Get started today with a free estimate at GannAsphalt.com. Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lots. Italian Delight was the first restaurant to bring true New York-style pizza to Kansas City almost 50 years ago. They sell whole pies or pizza by the slice, or enjoy their classic strombolis, calzones, and sausage rolls. Sandwich lovers, check out their lineup of hot and cold subs, the combo, the meatball, or the Philly cheesesteak, just to name a few. And don't forget the pasta. Their famous lasagna and classic chicken Alfredo always hit the spot. And if you're hungry for lunch, check out their daily lunch specials, starting at under $10. Italian Delight can even cater your next work function or party. Dine in, carry out, or delivery, it's Italian Delight. Located just 3 minutes east of Kansas Speedway at 8145 State Ave in KCK. Check out the menu and order online at ItalianDelightKS.com. Kansas City's own Italian Delight. All right, and by the way, Italian Delight back open tomorrow. We mentioned the Brunetti family taking a big family vacation, so they have been off, but they will be back open tomorrow. So go see them, 8145 State Avenue. First place to bring true New York-style pizza in Kansas City over 50 years ago. Let's move on to number 4 on the list. That deals with one Xavier Worthy. He will finish no lower, Jeff, than 2nd in receiving yards for the Chiefs. He can be 1st or 2nd, so he's got to beat out either Travis Kelce or Rashee Rice, who would be the expected. Maybe you're thinking a big year for Kenneth Walker out of the backfield. Maybe you think Tyquan Thornton's going to do it, but Xavier Worthy will rise to being no lower than the number 2 receiver on the Chiefs. There's a lot of ways to get here. He could be okay, and then, somebody gets hurt, could be part of it. That's a big issue. By the way, I forgot. They are Italian Delight already open. Thank you for reminding me about that. They are back open, as a matter of fact. I've got my days all mixed up. So Italian Delight is open. Let me stress that to the folks. Anyway, back to it. Second, Xavier Worthy. Jeff, what do you think?
I'm selling. This is an easy sell for me. I'm just not a Xavier Worthy believer. And if he's number 2, then something really went wrong here. That's how I look at it. So that I think Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce are the odds-on favorite to be. And that this, obviously I'm looking at it receiving yards, probably more likely than receptions. But either way, I just feel like he's not a complete enough receiver to where he should have the ball going his direction so frequently that he's that high up in the food chain. Even Tyquan Thornton, I think, should be right there as far as touches. And so I'm just not, I can't get there with it. I mean, I think he'll be better. I don't think he can get worse, but I don't think he's going to ascend to a place where we're seeing him week in, week out, making all kinds of plays in the passing game.
And just to be clear, it is receiving yards. We're going on receiving yards as the measuring stick. So no lower than second, Sam. You buy or sell? I'm
gonna sell this as well. Just right. I mean, this isn't their plan to have him be second on the team in receiving yards. It's Rashee Rice and then Travis Kelce and then Xavier Worthy. I do think Xavier Worthy will be better, but it's hard to get to being second on the team in receiving yards. And I just don't. I think even if he has a better year, it's not a good thing for the Chiefs if he winds up second. Of course, you could say that and also say it's not a good thing if Travis Kelce leads the team in receiving. But I don't know. My point is I don't think if he is second on the team in receiving yards, it's because he's had 1,100-yard season. I think it's more likely because 750 yards winds up being second on the team.
Right, and that's the obvious. We understand that, you told me if you had 1,300 yards and he's second on the team, that's a bad thing. No, we're not. That's not the point. We're just going with what the reasonable expectations are. I, too, am selling. I give it some thought. I do think he's got the best chance to take a step forward because last year was somewhat of a lost year with the injury. But I think the reason why you would sell this is because he's likely to be hurt. He's 160 pounds. And so if you sell, you can be right on this a couple of ways. One, he doesn't progress as a receiver. Or two, he gets hurt. And number two is, I think, going to be a likely scenario for him in his career. Now, I will say this. If he's number 2 at over 1,000 yards, the playoff part they're easily there. Can we agree with that?
Yeah. But that's also a huge leap. I mean, he had a stretch there. I think I don't have the stats in front of me, but I think he had like 8 or 9 games down the stretch where he didn't have over like 40 receiving yards. Like he was not even close to being a difference maker.
The term absolute no-show at times would be he would be worthy of that statement. I mean, his last year he totaled 532 yards. And to your point, Jeff, he had
83 yards in week 2, and after that, he never had more than 61 in a game.
Yeah. So I mean,
there were a lot of 25s and 35s
he had
in there.
83 in week 4.
His second game.
His second game. Yep. You're right. Yeah, man. And nothing in the final one. Well, he had a stretch in the middle where he was 3 for 23 and 3 for 25.
He didn't play in the last game, but he did play in that Denver game and did with Oladokin and didn't.
Oh, that's right.
Pass.
God, that is a rough year.
Yeah, so almost a third of his yards came in 2 games, right?
Yeah, I think you have to sell on this one, but it would be good news if he would actually deliver the goods. All right, let's go back to the defensive side. Peter Woods will be first team all rookie. Jeff, where do you go here?
I'm buying this one as well.
Okay.
More from the aspect of I think Chris Jones will unlock him, give him a lot of opportunities to get some sacks and to flash. And I think for a position like this, interior defensive lineman, even if you're not getting sacks, if you're pressuring the quarterback, people are hearing your name called. I think that will be enough for him to be on the minds of voters when they look at this kind of stuff. I do think this is a tougher situation than what Mansoor Delane is in because there's more defensive tackles who were taken in the first round.
Were there?
I thought that there weren't there.
No, he was the first D tackle.
He was the first D tackle.
In the first couple rounds? How many? Okay, he was? Okay, then.
Yeah,
okay,
so just for a refresher course, Well, this says
the Vikings took one.
I'm sorry, they did.
Oh,
Caleb
they took Banks. Yeah,
Banks is listed as a D lineman on one
lineman.
Yeah. But Caleb Banks, which I would call him a defensive tackle, he went the first round. We know that the edges that went up high: Ruben Bain, Keem Mesidor, Malachi Lawrence, and then it was Caleb Banks from Florida went to the Vikings. Peter Woods was second. Caleb Banks also was coming in. At least after the draft was real questions about his health, about a foot problem. But then after that, Caden McDonald at 36, Christian Miller at 42, Lee Hunter at 49.
Yeah.
It'll be disappointing if he's not.
And Woods is the true pass rusher. And so they're not going to give you points for being a run stuffer at this position when they make these kind of awards. Generally, it's the sacks that, just like with DBs with interceptions. So I think he'll get there.
You can tell by my response there, I'm buying it as well. I think he has to play. He's going to play. He's going to get opportunities. He's going to get snaps. And so I think it gives him a big leg up. And I think he's going to be pretty good. So I'm buying on Peter Wood. Sam?
I'm selling. I'm buying on both rookies, I think. I mean, man, they're going to have a great year. If the Chiefs put up good numbers, even good sack numbers, I just don't think that the credit's going to go to a rookie. I think the national credit that doesn't watch him play every day is going to credit Chris Jones and say, well, he's the reason. And he's the reason they get interior pressure. Anytime Chris Jones gets a sack, if him and Peter Woods gets a sack in the same game, more attention is going to be for Chris Jones getting the sack. And so I think Peter Woods is going to have to put up the actual sack numbers, not just pressures, not just influence the game to stand out. So okay. I think that narrows his path to get there, and I think he's got a tougher path.
Okay. I'm buying. Yeah, put me down.
I do think he'll play. Now, Khyiris Tonga is going to play more than any run stuffer did for the Chiefs last year. So, he's not a starter. I think Derek Nottie started 11 games last year. Tonga will start next to Chris Jones, and so I don't think you can consider him a starter. And I don't know what the situations are across the league. I assume Caden McDonald is probably more likely to be a starter because he is a run stuffer.
Okay. Let's go to Josh Simmons. He will grade. We had this one last year, and I'm just bringing it back. He will grade as a PFF top 30 offensive tackle. His problem was he did not play 50% of the snaps. Yeah, I had to lower it down to 20% of the snaps. He came in at 61 at 20% of the snaps. The run grade was pretty low on him. So now he's got a year under his belt. We saw what he looked like at OTAs and minicamp. Where are you at, Jeff? Simmons, top 30.
I'm going to sell this one. That's a huge leap to take for a player who I think has promise, and it wouldn't surprise me if he was close to that. But I was as you were talking, I was trying to think of we're talking left and right tackles here, right? Mm-hmm. So you're talking about that's a big pool to jump into.
He better be one of the top 30 left tackles.
Exactly. I was going to take him at that one. I was like, I'm comfortable with that one, but top 30, I can't go there. And I'm hoping that all the stuff, the personal stuff, doesn't come back up and haunt him, and that he's able to be out there and mentally, and health, obviously physically too. But that's a big leap. He'll be better, but he won't be that much better.
Okay. By the way, last year, if on the, let's see, they've got a snap, whatever their set snap minimum is that they go with, just to give you an idea of the tackles that were there at 30. So 27, Kelvin Banks, 28, Blake Fisher, 29, Anton Harrison, 30, Armand Membu, 31, Ozzie Trapillo, Deion Dawkins of the Bills, Ronnie Stanley of the Ravens, Ikem Ekwonu of the Panthers. That's your 26 to 34 range. That's where he's got to fall in. He's got to be that kind of player. Sam, do you put him in there?
Yeah, I'm buying this. I'm a real big believer in the talent. I mean, the question is the availability, and it is a significant question mark. But I've mentioned this before, that the Chiefs a year ago, their worst 6 games were 6 of the 8 games he didn't play. I think he has a major influence on the Chiefs season. Obviously, we had that exercise earlier this offseason about most influential players, and he was next for me. I think he's got that kind of impact on what the Chiefs do. And I really think he's a great talent. And so if he plays, it would be a real disappointment if he's not one of the best 30 left tackles in the league. This is just better than half. Like, how many qualified on that list last year that you're looking at in the top? Just have 50% of the snaps, since a guy like him didn't qualify playing 9 out of the 17 games.
They had 84 that qualified. And it just says ignore snap, or it just, I don't know what their set filter is.
You're on the 50% snaps.
No,
you answer, and I'll look it up as well here.
Yeah. No, I went to the big one. I'd need to go in a different route to do it, but they have ignore snap minimum and not snap minimum, and I don't know what their filter is set at on this one. So yeah, I had to go. He was not at 50% snaps. He was
58 qualified. He wasn't one of the 58 who qualified. So
at 50%.
Yeah. And so that group was, the group that you mentioned earlier is actually around the 23 to 27 range.
Okay. So not quite that good. So yeah, I'm buying as well. I like the talent. I think he was a guy that was going to be a top 10 pick. If he's healthy, he gets there. The question is, does he get enough snaps? And I think that if he gets enough snaps, I think year 2. I mean, how many times did Sam sit on this podcast and say, team with a starting left tackle, only so-and-so has made it to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Or rookie
never
tackle.
Never won one.
Yeah. And so that's because there's a transition. And some of those names I mentioned had some tough first years. His first year wasn't that bad. And so I think he's going to be pretty damn good. So I'm buying.
You look at the top, so 71 guys got 500 snaps, which adds him to the list because he got 526. He's 49 out of 71 overall.
Okay. So not that far to climb to get there. All right. Felix Anudike-Uzomah. There's quietly some rumblings. Maybe he'll finally stay healthy. I put this at just 25% of the defensive snaps. He's got to stay healthy. And then if he is healthy, he's got to play. Just 1 out of 4 snaps. Does Felix Anudike-Uzomah, he will play 25% of the snaps. You buying or selling, Jeff?
I'm buying this one.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm buying it because their numbers are pretty low. We talked about this earlier in the year about just the depth at defensive line. We're trying to grab people off the street to put on the roster to fill out, to get them eight guys in the room. And so I think once you get past, obviously, Karl Loftus, R. Mason Thomas, Ashton Gillotte, very good chance he could be in that fourth guy in the mix now. And I think Ethan Downs didn't get hurt. Didn't Ethan Downs
for his ACL? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so he's done. And so let's say bringing someone off the street, sign a veteran, I would think that they will give him every opportunity. And if he can stay healthy, why not? So I'll take a flyer on FAU.
Okay. How about you, Sam?
Snaps.
I'm selling this. I will say I was surprised at, and give people the peek behind the curtain. Soren, you set this. I was surprised at how high you set it at 25%. But then you look at his career, and even as a rookie, when he stunk, he played 20% of the defensive snaps. And 2 years ago, which was his last healthy year since he missed last year, he played 31. I cannot believe Felix Anudike-Uzomah played almost a third of the snaps 2 years ago, which tells you how ineffective he was as a player, that he was out there 1 out of every 3 snaps, and we still didn't notice him that frequently. So this is not as high as number as what people think it is. And if you want to take 4 DNs, edge rushers, over Felix Anudike-Uzomah on the 53-man roster, who is the 4th?
Yeah.
Like it's hard to find a 4th. So I'm selling because I feel like there's a lot of ways this could go under, and I think, fewer ways that could go over, but this number isn't as high as people think. Like, this was a tougher call.
And I will tell you, I'm going to sell just off the math of him getting hurt again. I think if he doesn't get hurt, he'll get there easy. Because I'm with you. Like Ashton Gillotte is the rundown guy. R. Mason Thomas is the pass rush specialist. I mean, I think one of the things they're going to try to do is get more fresh bodies out there. So I think he'll play, and he may be kind of the rundown guy. He may get some time over on the other side too. So, because I think George Karlaftis sometimes can wear down. I mean, I think sometimes they play him too much. So I think the opportunity is there. I think if he could stay healthy, which he's never been able to do, if he could stay healthy, I think he'll go by this number.
I mean, here's the other guys. When you mentioned the 3 that are quasi starters, we've got Felix. Ethan Downs got hurt. You've got Tyreek Smith, VJ Anthony at UDFA, and Anthony Dunn, another UDFA.
Yeah.
That's the edge rusher group.
Yeah. So
and you guys are both selling based off health concerns, right?
Health concerns. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I want to buy, but I really do want to buy. I really do want to buy. Listen, he's only like, is he just turning 24?
Yeah, because he got drafted at 21.
He was really young, and so he's got age on his side that, filling out, working out and that kind of things. He just has not been able to stay healthy. So that I'm just going with the math of that.
24 in January.
Yeah. Okay. So I actually think that if he can stay healthy, he'll play and he'll contribute. Will he be a star? I don't think so. No, but can he be a contributor? Yes. I think he could be a contributor. But they'd love to just get something for him. Let's be honest. Get him playing at some kind of decent level, and I think they'd be excited. All right. We still want to hear. We'll still talk about running backs getting in the end zone. Chris Jones. How well is he going to play? Travis Kelce, Harrison Butker, the Chiefs' offense overall. We'll do it after you hear from our friends at Italian Delight. Italian Delight was the first restaurant to bring true New York-style pizza to Kansas City almost 50 years ago. They sell whole pies or pizza by the slice, or enjoy their classic strombolis, calzones, and sausage rolls. Sandwich lovers, check out their lineup of hot and cold subs, the combo, the meatball, or the Philly cheesesteak, just to name a few. And don't forget the pasta. Their famous lasagna and classic chicken Alfredo always hit the spot. If you're hungry for lunch, check out their daily lunch specials, starting at under $10. Italian Delight can even cater your next work function or party. Dine in, carry out, or delivery, it's Italian Delight. Located just 3 minutes east of Kansas Speedway at 8145 State Ave in KCK. Check out the menu and order online at ItalianDelightKS.com. Kansas City's own Italian Delight. If your property needs asphalt or concrete work, Gann Asphalt and Concrete is ready to help you. From parking lots and drive lanes to sidewalks, curbs, patching, seal coating, crack filling, and repairs. Their experienced crews handle projects of all sizes throughout the entire Kansas City metro. Whether you're fixing problem areas or planning a larger paving project, Gann focuses on quality workmanship and dependable service from start to finish. No matter what shape your pavement is in today, they can help improve it. Request a free estimate and learn more at GannAsphalt.com. Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lots. All right, let's talk a little bit. By the way, before you know it, it's going to be fall. I know we're about ready to get to August, but when things start cooling off, the seal coating starts booking up because people want to get it done. So I'd encourage you, if you need seal coating done, GannAsphalt.com. Go ahead and get on that list because they start taking phone calls and eventually have to start turning people down for this calendar year. So get it in now, GannAsphalt.com. Let's talk about the running back position next, gentlemen. Chiefs running back, one Chiefs running back, one guy, someone. Obviously, Kenneth Walker would be the president of this club, but I'll take anyone. Will run for 8 touchdowns or more in 26. I picked 8 because that's how many Kareem Hunt had last year. A Chiefs running back, Jeff, 8 rushing touchdowns. Buy or sell?
I'm buying this one, and Kenneth Walker's the only one I would trust with this number, so I'll put it on him. He's done that a couple of times in his career, had at least 8 as a part-time back in Seattle, and so that gives me a little hope that I think he's going to get more touches, more opportunities to carry the football. A good offensive line. I don't know if it's going to be the short yardage version. We'll see, but I think he can bust probably a few 20-yard, 30-yard runs in there somewhere over the course of a season. So I feel good about this one. I think he'll get
okay. Sam?
I'm buying it too. I mean, he only had 5 last year, but then you dig deeper into the data, and he only got 10 carries inside the 10-yard line last year. Zach Charbonnet had 31, which I think on the one hand is concerning.
And Charbonnet went down, which meant he was getting all of them early.
And which is like concerning that they did not think he was that guy. It goes into the short yardage stuff that I've talked about at length over the summer. But the Chiefs don't have a Zach Charbonnet. They don't have an obvious option to take to like handcuff him inside the 10-yard line. So I think he just has more opportunity, and therefore he gets to 8.
Okay. All right. I am buying, and I will tell you this is on a damn well better be. Right? Whether it's him or somebody. First of all, they're not going to quarterback sneak it, right? Unless they're going to get cute with some kind of rushing package and Justin Fields runs for 6 touchdowns or something. They're going to hand it to the running back in short yardage. And I think he's got the kind of big playability, and I think they've got the offensive line. He should have 4 minimum from outside of 10 yards, I'd even say he should have a couple from 30 plus, there should be a couple of big runs that he gets loose. Then let's give him a couple more outside 10, or maybe 3 more outside 10. He only needs, in my opinion, 3 or 4 inside. And who else is going to get the ball at the goal line? I mean, Sam's made that point a long time. I'm buying it, and it damn well better be the case. Or $14 million for this guy, you're really scratching your head.
If he's not getting a touchdown every other game in this offense, then
again, it's rushing. He could have 4 or 5 catching the ball too.
But I still think rushing, he should be getting that number.
And it's 8. I mean, the NFL record's 28 or 31 or whatever it is now. We're talking about 8. All right, Chris Jones will play well enough for the Chiefs to keep him in 27. We know he gets cheaper to cut. They save like $18-19 million to cut him at the end of the year, so he's got to play well enough for them to basically add a $19 million cap hit to keep him around. Jeff, Chris Jones, you buying or selling?
I'm buying this one.
Wow.
Yeah, largely because I just think the way the Travis Kelce thing's gone down, Chris Jones is probably that same category, and they have a hard time cutting loose of people who've been around for this whole championship dynastic run that they've been on. And so I don't think he's got to play lights out to stick around, and maybe, I don't know. I think he'll stick around just because they just have a hard time getting rid of legends around this place. So maybe I'm on a limb here, but I think that's how it's going to play. I
think that is very, very valid. I think he has a very valid argument, Sam.
Yeah, I've got the same argument. The reason rationale for why I'm buying, which is like he's going to really have to bottom out for the Chiefs to move on, because I think they have a hard time admitting mistakes at times, and they have a hard time envisioning what life looks like after a player like that, which is sort of amazing because they were able to do it with Tyreek Hill, and it worked out. They're the number 1 offense in the league the next year. So I think you have to have the combination of Chris Jones bottoming out and Peter Woods playing really, really good. If they both don't play great, I think the Chiefs will say Chris Jones can bounce back.
If they don't play great and this team doesn't make the playoffs, I think he'll be gone. I do think there is a little bit more of a chance, but everything you guys have said is true. I think they're going to play well enough to win, and I think they'll renegotiate the deal, bring his numbers down, give him some cash, and he'll start doing kind of those Travis Kelce where it's like it's really good money to get when you're not the top player at your position anymore. You might even be a little bit overpaid type of thing. I don't think they should do it. They should have sold. They should have traded him before signing him to the 3rd contract. That's what should have happened. That's when they traded Tyreek Hill, and it was the right thing to do, and it would have been the right thing to do on this one. How about Travis Kelce? This will be his final season, Jeff. You buy or sell?
I'm buying that one. I know he loves playing football. He loves being in the spotlight, but I just feel like at some point this has to end. And I imagine it'll be his last year, because the things we saw last year with some of the drops that led to big plays for the other team, you'll start seeing more of that stuff happening. He's probably going to start getting hurt more because he's older, and there'll just be more of a realization that this magic carpet ride is ending. Either way, he wants it to end, or it's going to end for him. So I think either way, he's going to not be back.
Man, they've been running some Chiefs games on NFL Network, on your network there, Jeff, and I'm watching them, and I see some of those plays that he was, and I forgot. I really did. It kind of, because they bowed out so early, I forgot just how awful some of those drops were. They were absolute killers for this team. But I'm selling. He signed the 2-year deal. You're gonna have to tell him he's not playing anymore.
Wow.
He keeps coming up with a reason. I think he wants the attention. They want the attention on their podcast. I don't think he has any attention. He said a long time ago, they will have to kick me out of this game. They'll have to tell me I can't play anymore. And I think he forgot that he said it. I didn't forget it. It was like their first year of doing the podcast. That's what he said about how his career would end. I think that's what he really believes. I think the rest is just showmanship to get clicks and everything on the podcast, and maybe enjoy a little spotlight, enjoy the Chiefs saying how much they love him. I think they're going to have to force him out. So I will sell. I think he's back another year after this. Sam?
Yeah, I'm buying. I really didn't think twice about this. I mean, I would have bought this last year too, going in.
And you'd have been wrong. Like you're wrong this year.
I would have been. But if I would have bought it last year, like I also don't. I mean, I agree with you guys on the drops. I mean, that play against the Eagles, I still think is potentially the biggest play of their season, where he drops the ball at the goal line, and they probably win that game without it because the Eagles had nothing going offensively in that game, but he still put up the back of the football card numbers last year, catches, yards. I don't think he can match those numbers this year. And I don't think he wants to be the guy who – Soren, what I thought you were going with that is you were going to say you were watching old Chiefs games from like 21,
I was thinking,
22,
yeah.
And you were going to say, man, was he dominant.
Yeah.
I think the longer you play at this level, Jason Witten – people forget how good Jason Witten was because he played at a very average level for like 4 or 5 years before he finally gave it up. I don't think Travis Kelce wants to be remembered for being an average tight end. And right now he's still remembered as, potentially the best ever.
Okay. But he's had 2 years that should have made him go, okay, I'm not what I used to be. And
he's not what he used to be, but last year he was still one of the best, 6, 7 tight ends in the game?
Yeah. And where do you think he's going to be this year?
That's one of the reasons I'm buying this is because I don't think he'll be one of the
okay.
6,
Then I'm asking you, where do you think he's going to be this year?
I'd have to study the rest of the tight ends. I don't think, just comparatively speaking,
I put you on the
I don't
spot.
think his numbers will be better than I don't think his numbers will be as good as they were a year ago.
Okay. All right, let's go to Harrison Butker. We'll set a new Chiefs longest field goal record. That would mean 60? He's got 59.
No, he's got 62, right?
Yeah.
Does he have 62?
Yeah, he's over 60. I know that.
Oh, I went off the top of my head.
Remember, it was who was it that somebody in the comments will get us, but he broke it right after a guy came in and filled in for him for an injury and broke it himself. And
that was the playoff record.
In it was 22. Anyway, I'll give my answer first, then I'll look it up for. I'm selling it. I mean, he already owns the record. And you really shouldn't compare kickers to like old time 70s and 80s kickers because the legs have improved so much. The concentration on it has improved so much. But
62-yard field goal.
This has been half a century, and they've gotten to 62. I don't know why this will be the year I'd predict 63.
I don't have a date, but I did come across it at 62. I'll look for a date. Opponent was the Buffalo Bills. Yeah.
Is that a playoff game?
3 years ago.
No, he hit 62 in like the middle of like 22 or something like that.
Yeah, it's 22.
I'm having a tough time remembering because it was some dude had come in and broken the record. When he got hurt and broke the record.
I thought that was the playoff. Like the guy hit like a 58 and then he hit a 59 in the playoffs because he came back. He missed one of the playoff games. No, I'm wrong about that.
No, I think Harrison Butker has the Super Bowl record.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he had a backup that came in and then who set the record and then he broke it.
It was Matthew Wright. Matthew Wright hit a 59-yarder, and 6 days later, Harrison Butker hit a 62-yarder when he came back.
Yeah, it was against the Buffalo Bills last play of the first half. Make the game.
That's the other thing about it is like you got to have like just perfect circumstances for something like this to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm selling, Jeff.
I'm selling too. I think I predicted he'll be a better kicker, more accurate kicker, but I don't know if they're going to trust him to try him out for those kinds of plays, in the way they did before. I think once you lose some of that, it's that's a huge thing to go to. That's a huge miss to have when you have what they're going through offensively and defensively and trying to reestablish themselves. I think it'll be more conservative taking him out.
It has to be an end of the half kick or an end of the game kick.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't line it up otherwise.
Yeah.
And so I will sell, but I just wanted to point out, I do think he's going to have a good year. I think he's going to bounce back and have a really good year. But I think, I actually had it in my head, it was like 58 or 59. I didn't go back and look it up. So at 62, I have to sell for sure. I would have bought it actually. I was going to buy it when I thought
let's change it so you can differentiate yourself. 60-yarder. Let's say 60-yarder. Because I'll still sell.
You'll still sell? Okay. Harrison Butker hits a 60-yard field goal.
Man, I'll sell it too. The guy from Dallas has got like what, 4 or 5 last year.
Yeah. Harrison Butker will make, if I could type, a 60-yard field goal, and then I'll buy. So I have a little difference there. I'll buy on that because I think he's going to have a big year.
I feel like I cashed in on that. Like, we sold you that.
Yeah. All right. The Chiefs offense will rank in the top 10 in yards. Jeff, buying or selling?
I'm selling. I'm not, and they might get there. I'm not saying that it's not impossible, but just what I'm looking at in terms of the receiving core, especially Mahomes coming back from an ACL. I think they're going to go through some growing pains, some adjustments, and I just think that they're not going to be prolific. There's too many good offenses out there that are going to be putting up tons of yards and tons of points. And we go through the list before. Even teams that have who are going to be mediocre, like Dallas, are going to be putting up tons of a lot of firepower to work with. So I'm gonna sell this one.
I've already put down Sam's answer. Go ahead, Sam.
I'm actually going to buy this.
Yeah, of course. You
and are. This was like a coin flip to me, but I guess one of the things that persuaded me is I think they're going to run more plays because I think they're going to be trailing in the fourth quarter a decent amount, just because I think that they're, when you look at last year, the reason they were not a top 10 offense before Mahomes got hurt, because I think they were like 15, 16 before he got hurt, is because they were terrible in the fourth quarter. Patrick Mahomes was the second worst quarterback in the league last year in the fourth quarter. It's hard for me to predict that that's going to be the case again. If they can just get to like average fourth quarter productions, first of all, they would have won a couple more games, if not 3 more games last year. And that would have moved them to about that range a year ago.
Yeah, they were around 10th, and then Mahomes went down, and they really got torpedoed. They had problems, don't get me wrong, but I think they will have solved some of their problems. I think the offensive line will be better. I think the run game will be better, and that will get them more big plays. I think the battery was in backwards, and just the lobbing grenades over the top idea was how they're going to get more plays. Punch them in the mouth, force them to walk guys up, then beat them over the top. I think that will happen. I think hopefully the screen game is back too. And you get some plays out of that. You get some chunk yards there. I think this offense will be better. Listen, we would have had this at like top 5 a couple of years ago, right? We'd have been laughing at top 10.
Not a couple, probably last year. What do we have it at last year? 5?
Well, didn't they fall a little bit the year before?
They did, but I don't know that we would have predicted 3 straight years of it.
Offensively in yards, they were 20th last year. Then before that, 16th and 9th. So even just off the 2 previous years, I mean, where would you have put it? I mean, but before that, 1, 3, 1, 6, 1, 5. So you probably still would have put it at like 7, maybe, or 8, like at 9 and 16. But top 10 after the 20th, yeah, I think that's a legit number to put it at. There it is, buying and selling, some of the most important numbers on the Chiefs season. Remember, if you are putting up big numbers with your business, you want to make sure you make a good first impression. That starts with your parking lot. Gann Asphalt and Concrete's been solving parking lot problems in Kansas City for more than 30 years. So if you own or maintain or manage a business, keep that business safe, professional looking, make a great first impression, whether you need asphalt, paving, crack sealing, concrete repairs, line striping, they do it all. Find them online at GannAsphalt.com. And as I said, after I was reminded, Italian Delight is open. So go see them. First to bring true New York style pizza to Kansas City almost 50 years ago, 8145 State Ave, 3 minutes east of the Speedway on State Avenue. You can order online at ItalianDelightKS.com. Don't forget daily lunch specials starting at under $10. For Jeff Chadiha, for Sam McDowell, I'm Soren Petro saying thank you very much for joining us here